Be sure to subscribe for more Valorant content and to watch until the end to know what guns are the best and what guns are the worst. Enjoy the video. So welcome back to another official Valorant tier list, and this time we're gonna be looking at guns. Now before I start the video, I wanna give a quick shout out to my friend who's been, making a lot of content, and he's been putting in the work into gaming videos. So if you like gaming videos, I'm gonna put the description and in the comments. So anyway, today we're gonna be looking at Valorant guns, and be sure to watch until the end so you know which gun is the best and which one is the worst. Because if you know, you have your skills about guns and every Valorant single gun, you will get a lot better at the game. Like, it's not all aiming if you're aiming with your starter gun, okay? So now that we get that out of the way, there's gonna be different tiers. There's gonna be an S tier, there's gonna be an A tier, B tier, maybe C, E, F, whatever. Just watch the video and enjoy it. Now, of course, we gotta start with the S tier. And as you all know, this gun will need a nerf. And it's the S tier operator. So the operator sits at the top of the weapon food chain in Valorant. So if you're familiar with CSGO's op, this is basically the same. This is by far the best sniper in the game. It's like one shot, one kill, which is too much if you ask me, because I don't think they should have ops in Valorant, but okay, that's their game design, that's their decision, right? Now this is an operator can easily turn tides, so even if it's like 1v2, 1v3, he can get, those easy kills. And if they have SMGs, they're basically, really screwed, because this gun is really long range. So now what Valorant did is include some guns and making them from CSGO to basically Valorant. So the next gun is Vandal. So Vandal is the equivalent of AK-47 in Valorant. Now this is a great weapon for the late game, and after you have enough credit to buy it for yourself or one of your squad mates, it deals so much damage, it's unreal. Especially on armored people. Like, usually when people buy armor, you think you're safe, right? You can take a few hits. No, this gun will deny it. It also has a huge wall penetration. It hits with a strong recoil, so you have to have that spray pattern fixed. And it is one of the better full auto rifles out there if you aren't comfortable with an operator. So if you can't snipe, you can use the AK. It's pretty simple as that. And this is just an amazing gun that will probably stay as this is, but it's pretty expensive in that way. So I definitely think operator needs a rework, but this gun is alright. Now the next one is Phantom. Now Phantom is also an S tier, and here's why. Now Phantom is also a great contender for full auto weapons other than Vandal. So it has a higher firing rate than the Vandal. So most of the damage numbers are almost the same as Vandal. You see how OP is that? Like Vandal, it also hits hard with even more unpredictable recoil to master. Now this trade-off for the gun is that it has a better firing rate than the Vandal, but as a result has a bit more kick when it comes to recoil. So it has a higher recoil than the AK, so that tells you a lot. Wall penetration is good both on the Phantom and the Vandal, so both have great wall penetration, but this is the best gun I think in the early game. Nothing beats this gun, and that's the Spectre. In the current state of the game, Spectre is an SMG at the moment, and it's the best SMG there is. It has the highest firing rate among all other weapons, and Spectre is viable from almost all states of the game. Wall penetration for this gun is medium, but among other SMG it's great. So I think this is the best, low class gun. So what I mean by that, cheap guns. This gun is actually great, for close combat or medium combat. So for long combat, not that much, but with Spectre, you're gonna probably rush anyway, or you're gonna come really close. So that was the S tier, that was the best guns there are in this game. But we have now the A tier, which, is the Sheriff. So Sheriff is the Deagle equivalent for Valorant. So if you know how CSGO works, the Deagle equivalent is basically, it has a crazy high wall penetration and headshot damage number. So that's just, a normal pistol that is very cheap but has amazing damage. Now this is a great option if you want to run an economical round. It's not that great in buy rounds because you easily get stomped with an SMG. Now those with good aim will use this weapon to show off their crazy flicks, of course. The problem with this, it requires a high accuracy, and if you miss a shot you're basically screwed. That's why it's A tier, but it's high damage and it's headshot damage, just make up for it. Now the next one, the sniper, the Marshal, is just a budget operator. So it has a decent wall penetration and damage for a sniper. So it's okay if you don't have enough for the operator, but it's not really that great. It's kind of situational, so I still think you should just save up for an operator and just not go with Marshal. It's still a S tier though. Now the next one is actuality Guardian. So Guardian is a great option for those players who don't like to control the recoil pattern of full auto weapons but has a really good aim. So it's basically a semi-automatic. And this is a great option for also those players who basically want to play on those long ranges, hit those shots, you know, are accurate with the shots, and it's one shot to the head weapon in most situations. Now with medium wall penetration, this is just like the Deagle from CSGO, but with, you know, a bit faster firing and a different kind of output of damage. So this is a great, you know, gun in my example for controlling points or something like that. So let's say, for example, they're gonna push, and you know they're gonna push from like 3 people are gonna push with their pistols. You throw a smoke and you fire this shit off, you kill them all. Okay, simple as that. Now the Ares gets also a spot on the A tier, which is the best option when it comes to shooting enemy agents through the wall, as it has a really high wall penetration. Along with a big magazine, Ares deals a decent damage to the body. Now it's a great option if you're not that comfortable with your ability to click heads at will. So Ares is more spread and spray fire type of gun, so it's not the best, but it's alright. Now we're gonna look at the B tier. Now the B tier is only gonna feature, you know, 2 guns, for example. Now the first one is the Stinger. So the Stinger is the best budget, so budget, not the best SMG, the best budget SMG in the game, and it only costs 1,000. So 1,000 is super cheap right now, with a decent fire rate and damage at close quarters. This is a great option for early rounds. Since it has a really low penetration numbers, it won't be a great choice for shooting other enemy agents through the wall. So that's the first issue. The second issue is, you know, after you're playing against those AKs and snipers, it really loses its credibility. But hey, for 1,000, I'll take that, okay? Now the next one we have is Bulldog. So Bulldog is a good option for a full auto replacement for both Vandal and Phantom. So if you can afford an AK or, you know, the CSGO M4A1S, it has a good balance of fire rate, wall penetration, and damage. Now this is a well-balanced option for a full auto weapon that doesn't cost as much as the other good options. So it's an alright gun, but it could be better. The thing is, it's budget. That's why it's B tier. Now the C tier, it kind of hurts me, but I still have to talk about it because these are some great design guns, but I don't think they will see any play in competitive esports or even normal play if it's, you know, trolling. So far they're gonna be played, of course, because it's beta, but after that, after ranked, it's a tough chance. So Bucky is definitely one of the better shotguns in Valorant. Now the thing is, it's a shotgun, right? And in most games you're looking for some kind of long range, and shotguns really lose credibility in Valorant. They're really situational, which overall shotguns aren't as good as other auto or one-tap weapon on this list. Bucky is definitely a viable option. It has a good damage number up close and a decent headshot damage number. So it has a lot of damage, but you need to be up close, so then again, it's not really that good. Now the next one we have is Judge. So Judge is also a good alternative for Bucky, so it's a bit different. Now you probably saw Judge in a lot of like clutch plays or something like that. It deals a bit less damage than Bucky, but it has a better fire rate. Now this is also a valuable option other than Bucky, you know, it's a decent up close and can wreak havoc among enemy agents at close quarter fights. But you're not gonna have close quarter fights anyway most of the time, and if you do, an SMG will help you a lot more. Now this one is the only heavy LMG weapon. So light machine gun Odin, it has a crazy high damage and wall penetration, but here's the catch. To counter its high magazine size and high damage numbers, Riot decided to give it the worst recoil that was possible. So yeah, it's really difficult to actually control. Now it has possible to do like 1v5 versus one clip, but then again it's just not happening. Its recoil is it's so hard to control it. You're better off just buying an AK, to be honest. Now the next one, which is my personally favorite gun, is Ghost. So that's the silenced basically pistol. So while it doesn't have the same number of wall penetration as the Deagle, or aka the Sheriff, and damage numbers, it makes up for being a stealth killing machine. So it's a silent type sidearm with medium wall penetration and good headshot damage. So it's great, but not after, you know, late game or whatever, because it doesn't do that much damage. The only benefit of it is being silent. So now we have the D tier, which is really not the worst, but really bad. So Classic is a decent starter weapon for the first round. So that's the, you know, the starter weapon. It's a pretty well rounded for early fights, but it's not that good. You can get any gun in this is probably better. Now the next one we have is Frenzy. It has a better firing rate than the Classic, but the only advantage over Classic has a better firing rate. And it costs 400 credits. So do you really want to spend 400 credits when it's Classic is basically free, right? And you can get an SMG for 1,000 that's much better. So that's just my honest opinion. Now we're going to the E tier. So Shorty is the E tier. It's the only gun in E tier. It isn't good starting weapon, as it deals less damage to both the head and the body than other starting options. It deals less damage to all other starting weapons in Valorant. While this might change the future, because I think Riot might buff it, right now it's just not good overall. I wouldn't pick Shorty unless you're trolling or something, or you're just having fun. If you're in, you know, pub games, you know, practicing, of course you can pick this shit. But overall, just go in a DK, you won't regret it. Now we're going to the last thing that is, and it's F tier. So the F tier is the actuality tactical knife. So it has the worst damage numbers compared to other weapons, and half of the time it doesn't even work. Even the most of the time it's not like a swing and kill. I don't even know why they added a knife, because it's so bad. Like, it's like at the bottom. It's not like a D tier where, you know, it could be better than nothing. This is like firing a water gun. Seriously, you will probably never use it. If you get kills, it will be maybe like 2 or 3 in your whole playtime of Valorant. But you know, they might change some stuff. They might add some. I think they're keeping the guns that it is, if I remember correctly. But now you know how it works. You know, they will do some buffs, they will do, you know, some advantages and stuff like that. But overall, this list should be work forever, because, well, they said they want to keep the guns as it is. I want to let you know your opinions down in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe and check out my other Valorant videos. Anyway, this is Fatman, sign out. Peace, guys.